Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Hey there, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Beacon of Light. This is my true identity, wild woman, cave woman over here. This particular show is designed to help individuals through many different aspects as I can. So today's show is about gamma, beta, alpha waves, sound waves, and frequency to give you guys a better understanding of what you can do. And I did some research. I actually found a frequency app that's free that you can actually produce any type of frequency that you want, which is going to help with some of the issues that we're going to be talking about. Well, hello, Linda. So yes, this is me. This is what I look like. My hair is a mega mess here, and this is actually the back of my place, and the fairy wings are in the closet. So the first show that I wanted to do on this, I wanted to talk a lot about frequencies, because when we just got through the holidays and the change of year and the change of seasons, there's so much we listen to music, and some of the music from our past. When we're listening to the Christmas songs of the past, we're remembering the past, and sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes it's not such a good thing. But as you're thinking this, if you wallow in it, a certain frequency will be produced, or hertz will be produced with your own brain chemistry that results in that depression or that anxiety or that overwhelming happy feeling. So before we get into the Hertz and the actual app that I did find, mine's on an iPhone, so you guys can figure out if they do have it on the other phone. My son likes to keep me up to date on everything. So we're going to start off talking about brain waves today. Okay. Now, your brain wave starts in different aspects. We have, we have gamma waves, we have beta waves, we have alpha waves, and I'm pretty sure we have theta. We have theta. Now, these are all delta waves. These are all waves within your own brain chemistry that actually produce this. And we're going to get into exactly what they are. And sometimes increasing certain waves cause certain side effects, and some of them good and some not so good. So I figured if you guys had a better understanding of this, we could help you out. So let's see. The first one we're going to get into today, and again, I took a lot of notes. So the first one we're actually going to get into is we're going to talk about gamma waves. Okay. Now, these are actually involved in higher processing tasks as well as your cognitive functioning, if we understand that. Now, gamma waves are actually important for learning and memory. Try to remember that. And information processing. It is thought that the 40 hertz gamma wave is important. Okay. So try to remember 40 hertz and a gamma wave. This is all what our brain, this isn't about our spiritual access right now. Right now, we're talking about our actual brain chemistry, which runs at a lower frequency. Okay. Now, it's important for actually binding, of our senses in regards to perceptions that we are involved in learning new material. It has been found that individuals who are mentally challenged, who are mentally challenged, have learning disabilities, tend to have a lower gamma activity than average. Now, think about this for a minute. If somebody who does have learning disabilities or somebody who's mentally challenged, they have lower range frequencies as far as the hertz. Well, what if you happen to have an app on your phone that you could play at the hertz level it should be while this individual sleeps? Okay. Now, frequency actually ranges from 40 hertz to 100 hertz at the highest. The highest for the gamma wave is actually at 100 hertz. Now, too much of this is going to produce anxiety, high arousal, and stress. But too little, we're talking 40 and below, or below 40, you're going to produce ADHD, depression, and learning disabilities. Hello, Mr. Ed. How are we doing? So think about this for a minute. Now, the optimal, which is binding senses, cognitive information processing, learning prescription is all dealing with our REM sleep, if we can understand that. Now, increasing your gamma waves, the best way to do this is through meditation. Let's see. My brain waves are low and my electrical system can't keep my heart and lungs functioning. I am so sorry, honey. Um, the only thing tonight I could actually recommend is turn it to Sunday show for tone. Listen to Marcy's tones; they're very healing. Also, a little Reiki also would be something that might have that if you happen to know a sound healer. Yeah, I did find a really cool app on my phone, and it's called Sonic. Okay. The app itself is actually called Sonic. Now, this particular one, you can put it on a delta wave, a beta wave, a theta wave, in order to increase that aspect in it. So rather than playing it at 100 where it's overboard, you can't. But meditation is something that also does that. Hello, Derek. How you doing? Hello, Stefan. So, and hello, Facebook user must be. Oh my goodness. I don't know why. Sometimes it says Facebook user. Now, the best way to actually help something like this, and again, they're suggesting meditation. There's a lot of meditations on YouTube that you can actually get for free. There are a couple that I used to have up. Let me talk to Ed. Maybe I can download a couple of my old meditation sessions that I had. They're guided meditations up on the Rift page to help you guys out too. Really nice for cleansing. Now we're going to get into a little bit of beta waves, and this is before we get into the actual frequencies of our spiritual realm, because right now we're still talking about a lot about the brain and how the brain functions and what it actually causes. Now, these things have always done it. Now, you have someone right now who is having a little bit of issues like ADD, ADHD with learning disabilities. You want to play a hertz that's above 40, but not too close to 100. Now, the Sonic app actually has that frequency, which is pretty cool. So if you guys know of another one, please feel free to share. I'd love to hear it. Now, beta waves is a little different. These are known as high frequency, low altitude brain waves that are commonly observed while you are awake. Now, they are involved in your conscious thought, logical thinking, and tend to have a stimulating effect. Okay. Having the right amount of beta waves allows us to actually focus and complete schoolwork, work based tasks easily. That was Rhonda. Yeah. Hey, Rhonda. So this helps with that. Now, having too much beta, okay, and this is the thing, you can't have too little, too much. It's like salt. A little's okay, but when you go overboard, you end up with high blood pressure. It works the same way. Having too much beta actually leads us to experiencing excessive stress and anxiety. You ever wonder where that come from? When they talk about your brain chemistry is off. If somebody is diagnosed with bipolar disorder, they say your brain chemistry is off. This is what they're talking about. Your beta wave is off. So let's find a solution for that beta wave. This actually also works when you're awake on this one. Okay. Now, the higher beta wave frequency are associated with high levels of arousal. When you drink coffee or have another stimulant, your beta actively will naturally increase. So if you have a higher level, it's going to increase with these. Let's see. Thinking of these being a very fast brain waves, and most people exhibit throughout the day in order to complete conscious tasks such as critical thinking, writing, reading, and socializing. Now, this particular brainwave, we're talking about the beta, the frequency in the beta is 12 to 40 hertz. So it really depends on what it is that you are trying to work with. Okay. So you need to find the hertz frequencies in order to increase what it is that we want. Now, too much, we have over adrenaline, anxiety, high arousal, the inability to relate, and stress. These are all related when you have too much of this particular brainwave. Okay. Now, too little, again, ADHD, daydreaming, depression, poor, cognitive skills, which is understanding. These are actually related to this one being on the lower level. Now, if you're optimal as far as your brain chemistry, it's switching your brain chemistry for what it is that you want through the hertz, is what we're trying to do. Now, consciousness, focus, and memory solving problems. I mean, it's going to be awesome. Now, increasing, you need to, if your beta waves are actually lower, a really good way to do that is coffee, energy drinks, and various stimulants. Okay. To me, it's my caffeine. So if I'm feeling that I'm a little low or I'm daydreaming or all of a sudden like depression will come in, I'm a coffeeholic and it works just fine. So that's my drug of choice is caffeine. But these particular things that we do without even realizing we're doing them, it's like we're feeling a little low, we're feeling down, and it's like, man, I really could use some caffeine or some coffee, or even soda has caffeine in it. And you're wondering why you need that stimulant in order to help with the beta waves of your brain. So just like when I've talked about chakras, this particular aspect is going to help you out as well. Now, there's 2 more brain waves that I do want to get into right here. Okay. Now, your alpha waves, this is actually a frequency range bridging the gaps between conscious thinking and your subconscious mind. Alpha waves are very important. These happen when we sleep as well. We go into certain levels as we sleep. Okay. And the ideal is to actually reach the theta state. So I'm pretty sure that there's a program out there that'll bring us through the sleep waves of sleep. Might help correct that as well. Now, the frequency ranges, bridging the gap between our conscious thinking and our subconscious mind. In other words, alpha is the frequency range between beta and theta. Okay, if that makes sense. It actually helps us to calm down when necessary and promotes feelings of deep relaxation. It really helps us because you remember our brain chemistry is now going almost into the theta, which is the sleep, right? So this is what we're doing. Now, if we become stressed, a phenomenon called alpha blocking may occur, which actually involves excessive beta activity and very little alpha activity. Essentially, the beta wave blocks out the production of the alpha because we become too much, too anxious, too aroused of what's happening. Now, the frequency in this one goes from 8 to 12. A sleep brain wave program to sleep to is something that is phenomenal. It helps correct these while you're actually asleep. And again, 8 to 12, moderate, really good numbers to actually, be in. Now, too much of it, you're going to have daydreaming, inability to focus, and too relaxed. You're going to want to sleep all the time, just like not being grounded. That's too much. Sorry, too much of this one. Now, too little actually produces anxiety, high stress, insomnia, and OCD because you do not have enough of this alpha wave around us in order to have that sleep to reach the theta. So that's what happens. Now, I am just telling you what my research has said. Okay, that's it. I am not promoting anything. This is all based on a lot of research. Now, increase alpha waves is alcohol, marijuana, relaxants, and some antidepressants can actually help correct this. Now, for those that are on an antidepressant, or for those that do not want to take like a chemical base to help, St. John's wort. St. John's wort is something that the Native Americans actually use to help. Look it up. Find an herbalist. I'm only in aromatherapy. I don't do herbalist, but I do though that I did have a native friend, and he recommended the St. John's wort, which works around the same way to help you out with that. Now we're going to get into the theta, which is a primary for us to be able to function. These are all what our brain needs to hit when we sleep. So falling asleep to a program that brings us down through these is something that would be benefiting to everybody. Now, the theta waves, we're going to get into frequencies in a few. Okay. Now, the theta waves, this particular frequency range is involved in daydream and sleep. Theta waves are connected to us experience and feeling deep and raw emotions. So think about that. If the theta wave is the one that helps us feel, what do you do if you have what is known as a stone child, a child that does not feel? They're not reaching that theta wave. So let's find out what it is that they actually say. I don't remember what I wrote. Now, too much theta activity. Many people might be bouts of depression, and may actually make them highly suggestible. Based on the fact that they are in a deep relaxation, almost like a semi hypnotic state. Theta has the benefit of helping improve our intuition, creativity, and makes us feel more natural. It also involved in restoring sleep. Now, as long as theta isn't produced excessive during our waking hours, it's very helpful for the brain wave range. Now, the brain wave range on this is 4 hertz to 8 hertz. And this is what we're getting into. After the theta, we have the delta. So this is what we're getting into. Too much. Again, this is what happens. Brain chemistry. They say there's something wrong with your brain chemistry. They want to correct it with this, that, and the other thing. Bipolar, ADD, ADHD, OCD. These are all brain chemistry things. But brain chemistry, what is brain chemistry? We're talking about it. This is brain chemistry. This is what they mean when they're telling you your brain chemistry is off. So now this will give you another alternative to help solve some of those issues. Now, too much, of course, is ADHD, depression, hyperactivity, impulsivity, inattentiveness. Okay. Too little, anxiety, poor emotional awareness, and stress. Now, your optimal, of course, when you're at your optimum amount in your theta wave is creativity, emotional connection, intuition, and relaxation. Not, oh my God, dude, I gotta sleep. Relaxed, calm, comfortable. That is really good for you. Now, unfortunately, to increase your theta waves, they're suggesting depressants, okay, antidepressants, or depressants, depending on some, in order to bring it down if it's too active. But I'm suggesting a slightly different approach. Now, I couldn't find a program that worked the way that I wanted to, but I'm going to keep researching this program, and I will make sure that I do post the link as soon as I do find it. Right now, I did find the Hertz one, but I want to find one that specifically works for sleep. So the next waves we're going to get into as far as our brain chemistry is delta. We're getting into the delta. Wow, after the delta, here we go. Here we go. We're going to get into how to make other things happen. Now, your delta waves, these are the slowest recorded brain waves in a human being. Remember that. The slowest. Why? Because this is our dream state. Delta is our dream state. Okay. They are actually found most often in infants as well as young children. Now, as we age, we tend to produce less delta even during sleep. They are actually associated with the deepest levels of relaxation and restorative. And again, a healing sleep. That's what we mean by restorative. They also have been found to be involved in the unconscious bodily functions, such as regulating heartbeat and your digestive system. So this is why the delta is very important. We're dealing with having a regular heartbeat versus an irregular one, and your digestive system as well. So, we want to be balanced. Now, adequate production of delta wave actually helps you feel more comfortable, rejuvenated after you wake up from a good night's sleep. Now, if there's an abnormal delta activity, an individual may experience learning disabilities or have difficulty maintaining conscious awareness. Okay. And again, such as in the case of brain injuries, they do have issues maintaining that conscious awareness. Now, and again, they say, oh my God, you're such a space ace. This is the issue. This is what we need to work at. And when they're talking the lowest frequencies, hey, how you doing, Nikki? Welcome, welcome. When we're talking about the frequency range, it's very low, which makes it so difficult to try to find a brainwave that actually has those true frequencies. I will find one, and if somebody else finds one out there, please post the link. Help everybody out. Fall asleep, and let's correct this, and we'll see what we can do to get you balanced during the day as well. Now, the frequency range from this is literally 0 to 4. It is the slowest brain wave we have, but it's also very important. Now, too much, okay, is brain injury, learning problems, inability to think, excuse me, not ink, and severe ADHD. They call that attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, not ADD, or it's ADHD. It's when somebody is hyperactive and just can't seem to focus. Too little, inability to rejuvenate the body. You're not getting a restful sleep. Inability to realize, to revitalize your brain. Okay. And poor sleep. Optimal. You want an immune system that heals itself, natural healing, restorative, deep sleep. Okay. Deep sleep. And hold on. Deep sleep and also increased brain waves in order to increase your delta waves. Again, depressants and sleep, which is antidepressants. I use Alexa, and just say, Alexa, play delta waves for a half an hour on repeat, and then listen to them while I sleep. Do you find that helps? Do you think that helps, Linda? Do you think it works on the correct frequency range? I'm really curious about that. Do you wake up feeling refreshed when you do it? Ooh, that I'm curious about. I should try that with my man. Yes, I track it too on my watch. Nice. All right, we'll have to try that. So I'll have to ask Alexa to play delta waves. Delta waves, or maybe we can get Alexa to play all the brain waves. That would be awesome as well. All right. So now that we know what it is that we need to work on when we sleep, okay? Now let's see. Here's a question for you guys. Can music affect your well-being? What do you think? Do you think music can affect your well-being? Guess what? Yes. Yes, it can. She is correct. Alexa is programmed from ambient frequency along with giving daily affirmations. Yes, thank you very much. With what you said, of course. Thank you so much, everybody. That is awesome. I'll have to try that because I know that my man has trouble reaching the last range of his sleep. So let's see if we can get him a really good night's sleep until the dog wakes him up and tells him he's hungry or going to pee. So let's see. Now, and again, music is actually really affects your well-being. It affects your learning, your cognitive functioning, your quality of your life, and even your happiness. Okay. Now, this research was done, okay, by Harvard students who researched the effects of music on your overall well-being. So that's what this one is based on, Harvard research. So I really did a lot of research for this. Okay, now a recent survey and a study on music on brain health, and again, we're also dealing with the brain as well, actually conducted by AARP, actually revealed some interesting findings about the impact of music on the cognitive and our emotional well-being. Now, remember, if our emotions are off, our health is off. That's why it seems like they say happier people live longer, less stressful people live longer. And a lot of times that's true. It's true because we refuse to allow I'm eating my hair because of this fan. We refuse to allow these things to actually come to us. We refuse to allow them to affect us. So let's see what we can do. Now, listening to music had a higher score for mental well-being and slightly reduces levels of anxiety and depression compared to individuals overall. Works on plants too. Yes, it does. Yes, music does work on plants. Now, there was a survey who responds to currently go with music performances, okay? 69 related to their brain health is excellent or very good, compared to 58 of those who went in the past and 52 for those who never attended. Now, it's letting you know that music does soothe the soul. Music is healing. Okay, music with words, music without words, meditation. It just music in general is something to really have around you. Now, those who actually reported often being exposed to music as a child, related their ability to learn new things is excellent. So remember that. If we are listening to music as a child, they have a better chance of having the ability to learn new things. Okay, that's very good. Now, those that were not exposed to music, okay, only 40% had that ability to learn new things. They weren't exposed to a lot of music as a child. And again, I'm not just talking, I'm talking every kind of music. Okay. Now, active musical engagement including those over 50, was associated with higher rates of happiness and good cognitive functioning. So, guess what? Us old folks need to listen to more music. Yes. I think that's awesome. Now, and this is the other thing. They're saying that adults with no early music exposure, but who currently engage in some music appreciation shows average mental score and well-being is actually scoring good. I was about to say a child was exposed to a big band music and all types of music, and I am stubborn as well now. Yes, but we're talking about your ability to learn new things. As we get older, sometimes it becomes harder and harder to learn new things. Gen X, we didn't grow up with computers, we knew nothing about them. And look at us now. So, we, as Gen Xers who did grow up with music, had that ability to be able to experience this and have that ability to learn new things. Yes. That's my man. Now, that's really good. Now, and again, music activates just about all of the brain. Every single part of the brain, music actually activates. Music has been shown to activate some of the broadest and most diverse networks of the brain. Some of the brain chemistry in us that normally isn't active does get active when we're listening to music. Okay, music actually activates the auditory cortex. Okay, for those that wanted to know. Now, in the temporal lobes close to your eyes, but that's just the beginning. Music has this way of lifting you up, okay, or making you sad. But if we are sad, that's okay. Okay, let's finish this off, and I'll explain why it's okay to be sad no matter who you are. Now, the parts of the brain involved in the emotions are not only active during emotional music, they are also synchronized. Try to remember that. Synchronicity, synchronized. Why are we synchronized? Because if we listen to a sad song, our brain chemistry, our emotional chemistry is syncing with that sad song. It'll make us sad. We're listening to a happy song, happy, mad song, mad, okay? Or sometimes for some individuals, a song that's like, yeah, that's a go-getter type song. So it really depends on the particular type of music you're listening to. Now, music actually also activates the motor system. In fact, it has been theorized that the activation of the brain's motor system allows us to pick up the beat of the music even before we start tapping our foot or our toe. Now, If we are listening to a sad song and we cry, let me explain something to you. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. You need to let it out, because what you're doing is you are allowing that past hurt to come out. Tears are cleansing. Why are they cleansing? Because they're water. You are allowing that to come out so you could heal, so you could alleviate what is happening, so you can finally let it go. If you're still feeling it with particular songs or sad songs, then there's something there that still needs to be let go of. We need to have that aspect of emotion and let it go. Allow it to come out and cleanse. Whoever says big boys don't cry and men don't cry, I'm sorry, that's not true. Everybody cries. If you don't cry, you don't have emotions. There's nothing wrong with feeling. Okay? Feel it, release it. Okay? And learn to heal from it. Remember, tears are cleansing. All right. Now, have we ever heard the term use it or lose it? Have we heard that term before? It actually relates to what we're talking about right now. Okay. So, right now, we are talking about, all right, music activities just activates actually just about all of your brain. Every single part of your brain, music activates. Okay. And again, why is this so important? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Well, you ever heard the expression, if you don't use it, you lose it? All right. It actually turns out that this actually is true in the brain pathways. And even whole networks are actually strengthened when they are used on, and are weakened when they are not used, if that makes sense. Now, the reason the brain is actually effective is it's going to, all right. So what the music is doing is keeping your brain pathways stronger, and that's what it's doing. It's keeping it going. Things that you normally don't do. Music actually activates every single part of your brain. We need that activation, is what we need. And again, now when a brain pathway, when it hasn't been used for many years, it goes dormant. So we start forgetting things, and we're like, oh my God, I just got up to go to the kitchen and I can't remember why I went there, or where are my keys, or everything else. We forget stuff. So music helps that. All right. Now, these type of changes should, and you should initially observe to you. This is why it's actually harder to speak that for a foreign language if you haven't used it in about 20 years, because you forget. Many of us older pathways have already designed, the neurons are being used for other purposes, if we explain that. Since music is a vibration, if we are trying to help someone feel better, do they need to consciously hear it to feel those vibrations? Some people, yes. Some individuals work better with the sound, with the music, because they're able to work through it subconsciously. What I'm saying is music in itself strengthens all the pathways. So if a particular person does need to feel better, happy music. I think I've told you guys before, fake it until you make it. You know, literally, if you need to feel that joy, you need that laughter, fake it. Watch a comedy, listen to something until you can actually come up with that aspect of yourself that brings yourself that joy and that laughter. And eventually, it doesn't, not fake, it becomes real. Music opens up all the dormant pathways that are going to allow us to be able to feel that and have those new vibrations come into play. So, yes, music works wonders. Now, also, music also keeps your brain network strong And that's what we need to do. Your brain chemistry and your brain waves are like a muscle. It's something that needs to be exercised. So yeah, listening to music every day is awesome. I listen to music at least once, twice, or all day. I don't watch very much TV, but that's me. Once in a while I will. I really love my music. I love my books. I love that aspect of the music and the feelings they give me. And it does help me a lot. So let's see how does music actually promote well-being, enhance learning, stimulate conjunctive functioning, improve your quality life, and even induce happiness. Now, those this is what we're talking about now. For those individuals out there, we talked about the alpha, the beta, all the theta, all these other waves. Some of them actually have to do with depressants. Okay, if it's too high, too low, we have an issue. The depression comes out. We have a chemical imbalance in our brain. So, yes. Okay. The answer is because music can activate almost all of the brain regions and networks. It can actually help you keep the Miranda of the brain pathways and the network strong, including those networks that are involved in well being, learning, cognitive functioning, quality of life, and happiness. Okay. In fact, there is only one other situation where you can activate so many brain networks all at once. And that is when you are you are participating in a social activity. That's the only other time. But you're happily participating in a social activity, not forced, not hiding in the corner, not depressed, but actively participating in that. So those are the two times that all of your brain can actually be active. Now, here we go. And then we're going to get into some hertz here. Okay, we're getting into tones and hertz and what particular hertz do. That's something else that I did want to end the show with. And again, we're going to just a little bit more about your brain waves, dance the night away. Okay, I don't care if you're doing it from a chair, wheelchair, move those arms, do something. Okay. Now, how do you incorporate music into your life? It's actually so easy to do. Although AARP surveys found that those who actively listen to music show the strongest brain benefits, even those who primarily listen to background music shows benefits. Musicals, TV, music, there you go. You can actually turn that music on right now. Music can lift your mood, so it can put you in a happy time. If you're feeling blue, up tempo music can actually give you energy. Okay, especially you know, especially if you're feeling a little blue. Now, if you're feeling a little blue, put in the uplifting music. Up tempo music gives you the energy. And if you combine music with aerobics or social activity, again, you can actually receive the maximum health benefits from it. Now, let's see, participate in Zumba class. I wouldn't be able to get off the floor. Jazz aerobics, wouldn't be able to get off the floor. Jump to rhythms of rock and roll, wouldn't be able to get off the floor. Or better, sorry, I wouldn't be able to get off the floor for half of these things, but I can semi dance around the house and clean it. There you go. And again, go dancing. And yes, you can still benefit from doing these actual activities at home. Just, a little rumba dance, a little dance here and there, do what you can. You can do it all right from your chair. And there's always an alternate way to get these things done. Okay. Now, before we end this, we're going to talk about tones. Now, we're talking about a scale that actually originated a very long time ago. The original tones, we're dealing with hertz. The original tones were discovered many years ago. Okay. Now, this is the solfeggio. Solfeggio. Sorry. tone. Yeah, those. So there are certain hertz that when we listen to it can actually assist us as well. Just like the music stimulates all of our brain chemistry, this particular aspect can actually help us. Okay, so let's get into turning grief into joy, liberating guilt and fear. We're talking about 396 hertz. 396 hertz helps with these. Now, the first of the lowest frequencies is 396 hertz. It's actually associated with the tone UT. Okay. This frequency is important because of its ability to ease and remove feelings of guilt or fear we've actually accumulated throughout our life. A lot of us have accumulated many, many negative things. We don't let go of challenges we faced. We're not perfect, we're human. We face challenges and we overcome them. I don't choose the M word, it's not in my dictionary. When you have a challenge, you have to face it. And if you face the challenge and keep going, you're a winner. Now, these negative emotions actually hold us back from our goals. Cleaning them out from our subconscious mind actually enables us to make new processes in both the physical world and in our spiritual consciousness. Now, the 396 hertz frequency can influence the mind so that we spend less time racked with grief and worry and more time experiencing joys and endless possibilities in life. Pretty amazing that frequencies and hertz can actually do this. Now, I looked up a lot of new ones. Now, for 17 hertz or the RE hertz, okay, we're undoing situations and you're felicitating change. Do you notice it didn't say fixing mistakes? I don't say that word. They're challenges. Okay. It said undoing situations and felicitating change is what it's saying. The next frequency on the scale, of course, is a 417 hertz. It's associated with the tone re. And again, all tones make certain things. So toning, Marcy, don't forget Sunday's show. Don't want to miss it. Okay. Certain tones do help with certain frequencies. Now, the next frequency on the scale, this frequency is the frequency of change and renewal. Just as guilt and fear can be an obstacle along the paths of growth, so too can traumatic experiences we've had in our life. It in our life that actually remains impressed upon us in our conscious or our subconscious. Like waves washed over the seashore, 417 hertz clears the debris of negative memories and influences from our mind. It helps us to change our perspective and face the present and the future with fresh eyes and a fresh spirit. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. Now let's get into the next one here. Ouch. Don't mind my ouches. Oh. All right. Now, number three. Number three is 528 hertz. And again, tone on this one. My boy. Marcy's so much better at that than me. Okay. Transformation, miracles, and here we go, guys. DNA repair. In order for our DNA to repair, first we must get rid of the other stuff. Get rid of those negative emotions first in order to have the DNA repair come forward. It's going to be amazing. Now, as we continue to work our way down the scale, we come to 528 hertz, which is also known as MI. My actually comes from the Latin word Maria Gastromo, or miracle. Let's see. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly, and I'll get the correct word later. And the other. All right. This is actually filtering. It's a fitting for the note that actually brings us its, its miraculous transformation, not only in our consciousness, but also in our DNA. Think about that. DNA. We can't control what we have from our DNA, which is our parents, our grandparents. That's something that's in our DNA. This is DNA repair. This repairs those constant conditions that have traveled down the line through every single one of us. Now, 528 hertz is actually used in DNA repair, which brings with it increasing energy, clarity, and peace of mind and spirit, along with enhancing creativity. 528 hertz actually affects, have so earned the name of the love frequency. Thank you so much, honey. I'm glad. As long as I help one person, I'm a happy camper. And that's what this is about. Now, let's see. And again, you can look up all of these hertz and this information that I'm actually giving you. I just took up a bunch of notes, and I did find a bunch of studies. Okay. Now, the next hertz we're going to be talking about, ouch, is 639 hertz. They call that FA, okay, which is Fae. Now, this one is reconnecting and balancing relationships. And thank you so much, Linda. Okay, this is, again, it's the fourth frequency on the scale is what we're talking about. Now, the fourth frequency, which is frequency, or again, you can call it Fae. It's the tone of connection and relationships, actually creating peace and harmony in our interactions and communications with people around us. Us as individuals, as humans, sometimes we have trouble speaking correctly, or sometimes trouble getting it out. It's going to help us reconnect and repair those particular issues. Ouch. All right. Now, its tone of connection and relationships create peace and harmony in our interactions. Okay. Whether friends, family, or strangers, it can smooth over any rockiness and reestablishment between us and our loved ones. And that's pretty amazing. That really is. Fa is the social frequency. One of the understatements: sympathy, tolerance, and mutual respect. Now, how many of us would love that mutual respect? I'm very fortunate here on the Rift Nation Network. I have a lot of mutual respect. We all respect each other. We all look out for one another. And I love that. And before we get into the next frequency, which is the 741, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow the Rift Nation Network for all the shows that are actually coming up. We have the Paranormal Outlaws on Saturday. We have let's see, Sunday we have the Orion Effect with Tone Healer Masi Kochits. Let's see, Monday I think the Otter's Den is on, and then we have the Otter's Den is on, and then of course we have Mystery Behind the Scenes, very popular show. She has helped so many families. What an amazing show. The new shows, I'm not sure if they're coming out next week or the week after. Tuesday is Begonettes with Pixie Sue. So, and then let's see what's going down with Mr. Odell on Wednesdays. So it's a pretty amazing lineup, and the new shows will be named as they come on and I find out about them. Now, 741 hertz, which is called Sol, which is kind of like Ironically cool because it's solving problems, expressions, and solutions. Ow. Don't mind me, guys. Now, at the fifth frequency, we arrive at the 741 hertz, otherwise known as Sol. Now, this is the tone that you want to use to help you to solve problems, more specifically, problems relating to our ability to express ourselves freely and openly. Very important. 741 hertz frees us emotional restrictions, but it is also said to remove toxins and electromagnetic radiations from our cells. Frequency does this. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Now, it also promotes a healthier and more stable life, both emotionally and physically. Pretty cool. Guess what? We ain't done yet. We almost done, but we're not done. Now, here we go. I love this one. 852. Okay. Now, 852. We are dealing with awakening intuition, returning to spiritual order. Now, as we've actually climbed the scale from the lowest to the highest frequency, we find ourselves dealing with the higher planes of consciousness. Okay. Now, this hertz, or La, is what it's called, the last of the original suffragage frequencies, actually enables us to connect with the higher power and the ever present spirits of the universe. It also gives us a glimpse of spiritual order of the world while also bringing us more in tune with our own higher self. Wow. Now, the scale that I researched that I just read to you is the original tone scale. This is the original one. All right. These are the ones that are also most noted, is what they are. Now, there are a few more on here. Now, while the ancient scale, I'm glad I just. I know, and this is a serious show, and I just. Okay. Ow. Now, detailed above are the most notable ones, but there's a few more on here, and again, I'm gonna get to them in a second. All right. Notable and actually enduring. These have actually been used for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. Okay. Now, Dr. Leonard Horowitz actually applied the same pattern in his research to uncover more frequencies. Okay, just so you know. Now, if you are looking for security and comfort is a low tone frequency. You're dealing with 174. Okay. Now, we'll try to get through these as quickly as possible. Now, 174 also affects us on the lowest planes, namely, that's our physical body and our energy. It's noted as a natural and antistatic renewal, both pain and physical and energetically, while giving the internal organs a greater sense of security and comfort. Now, this one deals with your physical body on your pain level, and it's something I had just found, so which is pretty amusing. Cellular repair and immunity is let's see, that is 285. These are really good, so definitely, if you didn't write them all down, you can always go back over the show and pick them up again. And the next frequency is 285, goes even further. It actually treatment of the body. This particular hertz is associated with cellular repair, helping the body tissue and organs to regenerate. Cell repair is also useful to the skin, associating in the healing of burns. Let's see, and in other particular types of damage we have run across. The cellular repair in its innate link to the immune system, where the health of the B and the T cells are virtually important for fighting off viruses and disease. This particular tone improves our health and overall well being through rejuvenation of the body. The knock on effect is better immunity, higher energy levels, and all around better well being. That's pretty amazing. Now we're going to go up to a little bit of a higher one, and that's it. It's the last one that I actually ran across, which was the 963. 963, we're dealing with higher consciousness. The last one in this particular suffrage of frequencies, which takes us to the higher planes of consciousness. This frequency actually connects us with the perfection of the universe, allows us to tap into oneness that permeates everything is and will be fine. Wow. This frequency actually relates to the crown chakra, which is also linked to the pineal gland, central nervous system. Throughout this, it says you can actually access the higher level of consciousness. And also, we're dealing with intuition, telepathy, psychic visions, and immediate connection to your higher power, your God, or your spiritual high being. Now, the first show on the Beacon of Light, or the Beacon in the Dark here, was all about tones, chemistry, and brain waves. Sometimes information is very healing. And if I can get this information out to somebody and help them heal, that'll be amazing. And on this particular show on Friday nights in Beacon in the Dark, I might have other individuals on with me. Pixie Sue, okay, that's on Tuesdays. That's going to remain readings and silly and goofiness. That's what that's going to be. This particular show is definitely going to be a lot more helping individuals reach their goals and picking them up and letting you guys know that you are not alone. And that's what it is. You're not alone. That's what a beacon in the dark is. And the name just kind of came to me. Beacon in the dark. You are not alone in your darkness, in things that you've been through, in your depression. There is a reason, as we've just found. Those with the ADD or the ADHD or even bipolar disorder or OCD, which my mother used to call it, but back where it belongs. So, everybody had a name for it back then. But these are things to know that, okay, there's a reason. Okay, this isn't functioning. So let's see if I can find the way for that and actually help. All right. Well, I need to feel a little upbeat. This frequency will help, or this particular type of music will help. And hopefully I did help out. Just one person will make me very happy. And I will return again probably next week. And we could be talking about chakras. We could be doing tone healing. We could not tones, excuse me, I don't do that. Marcy's better. I can do singing bowls. We could be doing meditation. There's a lot of things that I will be working with you guys to help you be the best you that you can be. Know that it's okay for every single one of you to have a past, because without a past, we wouldn't be who we are. If I didn't have my past, I wouldn't be me today. Your past creates who you are. So absorb it as that and let go of everything else. Now I want to go deeper into this and research. I'm so happy, honey. It's very, very helpful information that I tried to push and squish into an hour show. So we could be doing meditation and some singing bowls next week, and do some overall healing and getting some of the extra stuff that we have going on with there. So, and I want to say peace, which I can actually do. Don't mind the owls. The owls will be here for a while, but that's okay. I'm getting kind of used to the owls. They finally got something that works pretty good. All right, so let's see if I can find the right one to end this, which is that's Otter's Den, Monday at 7. I don't know. One of these are the ending. All right. Okay. Peace out. I do love you guys. Remember, you're loved. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you need to cry, I don't care if you're a guy or girl, let it out. Let it out. Tears are cleansing. Okay.